I'm Evan Allen, and I teach a class here in Chico, California called Celebration Arts. It's a sort of video version of the Writer's Almanac for a YouTube generation. See if it's something you would like to see on public television. In class, we talk about who was born that day, everyone in every field, from the fine arts to the performing arts, from those in the humanities to those in pop culture, from scientists to innovators of technology. Of course, what happened in history that day. And we also ask if these events didn't happen. You get the idea. All done with YouTube videos and sound bites and, of course, dramatic readings. I've seen how my kids have enjoyed the arts and sciences from our times together over the many years, and I think other kids would just get a kick out of it. See if this is something that you would like to see on television. Celebration of the arts. Thank you.
It was mad. 40,000 of us against 250,000 barbarians. It was the day Alexander had waited for all his life. Alexander, son of a god. It was a myth, of course. At least it started as a myth. I know. I was there. I saw his eyes.
There. In the crack of the Persian line. We'll go for the head.
Killed Darius?
The gods have brought him to us at last. If I die, it's one Macedonian. But the Persians, they cannot move without Darius' command.
In 1868, a young man, then 30 years old, left San Francisco and walked east across the state to the Sierra Nevada mountains and what is now Yosemite National Park. The mountains, and especially Yosemite, forever changed his life. He, in turn, forever changed our way of looking at the mountains and forests that are part of our natural heritage. His name was John Muir, the great naturalist, explorer, and conservationist. Muir called the Sierra Nevada the Range of Light. He spent 6 years in Yosemite, and his writings record the wonderment and inspiration he found in the mountain wilderness. Later, he devoted himself to the cause of conservation. Through his efforts, in 1890, Yosemite National Park was established. He strove to turn public sentiment towards a national conservation policy, eventually influencing President Theodore Roosevelt to set aside other reserves and national parks.
Of all the automobiles that have ever been designed and built in the world, there's one that stands out as most significant above them all, and that's the Model T Ford. The Model T introduced mass production and single-handedly brought us from a horse and buggy level of technology to one where we had machines that were run by gasoline engines. Using a moving assembly line, Henry Ford was able to build these things in about 1/10 the time it took to build other vehicles by hand previous to the Model T. The Model Ts were simple, they were rugged, they were cheap, and as Henry Ford used to say, you can have any color you want as long as it's black.
I drew these tides of men into my hands and wrote my will against the sky and stars to earn you freedom.
Truly, for some men, nothing is written unless they write it.
Whatever I ask them to do can be done.
They think he's a kind of prophet. They do or he does.
You think I'm just anybody, Harvey? Do you?
人民共和国，中央人民政府，今天胜利了。
In 1952, Joe Black, a 6'3", 220-pound relief pitcher, joined the Dodgers. In his rookie year, he won 15 games, saved another 15, and won a pennant for his team. It was the only successful season Black would have in the major leagues.
You're going to have a hell of a year. Because next year, don't let them mess with you. So now you go to spring training between a rock and a hard place. Joe, last year you had a hell of a year. We're going to make you a great pitcher. Now, if you say, hey, man, let me do my thing, they're going to say you're big-headed. So now you start listening to these fools. And before you know it, you don't remember how to pitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Carson.
Once again, walking through the hallowed halls of NBC, the House of Hits. I don't know about General Electric. I mean, I'm not sure they have a handle on the entertainment business. I dropped by the programming department this afternoon. It's now a Chinese restaurant. I thought maybe you should just sell off the television end and kind of push the toaster ovens. Thought that would get more. See, that's what happens when you've been sitting out at Malibu for a year watching hummingbirds mate. You kind of lose it. Now, you're all aware of the rumors, of course, that have been circulating for a couple of years that the NBC television network is for sale. That is not true, because Bob is not going to sell it. 5 years.
It was 2 minutes at 12. There's this commotion going on. Some people are joining in. Some people are stopping to watch. This police car is going nowhere.
I just did what any of my fellow students, or my fellows in all these organizations, would have done. So I was just singled out. Chance selected me. I'm no martyr.
I found I couldn't understand why people were prohibited from speaking in the plaza. And if this demonstration around this police car was some way to indicate it was wrong, well, it seemed like a good idea to me. I didn't like the idea of seizing a police car. Are you with us or are you against us? I wasn't either. I was watching and listening to speeches.
There was an open microphone on top of the police car, and anybody who wanted to speak could sign up on a list, and they had 3 minutes to say anything they wanted to say. And hour after hour, people were getting up and orating. It was like an explosion of ideas.
Hello, remember me? Yes, you do, you know. Ring any bells? Well, you know those Sony people computerize anything. Take the new compact disc. 1 hour of Mozart out of a beer mat. Pure sound played by laser. Just listen to that. No hisses and crackles, of course, but if you do want that, munch up a biscuit, sip a cup of cocoa, and it'll sound just like your old record player. You know what I mean? Fancy a dance?
So, Nick, whatever will they think of next?
Food. What do you got? I got brown sandwiches and green sandwiches. Which one do you want?
What's the green?
It's either very new cheese or very old meat.
I'll take the brown.
Right. It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You are Amelia Mignonette Thermopolis Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia.
Me? A princess? Shut